Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rum and Regret podcast. My name is Andy Drake.
Johanna Myers.
Nate Dustin, we drink, we know things.
Today is Tuesday, January 31st, and we are on the cusp, the tip, if you will, just the tip of our 5-year podcasting anniversary.
I mean, I think that's this weekend, so technically aren't we at the balls still?
Yeah. Possibly the taint.
We're swimming in the balls.
Or the lower shaft, maybe. Lower shaft. And the show is at a new low. I'm gonna with that cheers, because fuck dry
5
January.
years. 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't. And yes, we are circling the ball sack of our
Jesus Christ. Too soon. Don't say ball sack.
Oh man. Well, it is I said the date already. Fuck it. Yeah, so we're gonna talk Vox Machina. We're also gonna talk The Last of Us, which we are all caught up on. Thankfully. Way to go, Joe, for getting it in right before the cast.
I should have watched
0 hour
episode is so good.
Yeah. And
I literally finished it like 5 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
so you're welcome
God.
for the bio break that I needed to take then. Perfect.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, she had a buffer of yeah.
Just wipe the tears and get to podcasting.
Right. And yeah, and then DC dropped a rather big
Big nut.
thing, yeah,
DC Dookie,
on their
James
plan.
Gunn.
Yeah, the DCU is has been announced. So interesting, and so yeah, we'll discuss that a little bit as well. But yeah, let's just get into it. Joe, is there anything lurking in the horror corner this week?
Yeah, so I watched Sick, which was on Paramount Plus, I believe.
Okay.
It's my first dipping the toe into COVID horror. Which I have to admit, not for me.
Didn't know.
Oh, really?
Too real or what?
A little too real, is because unfortunately my father passed away from COVID, so
right.
It's a little hard to enjoy.
Yeah.
But I can see why people like this movie. It's if you are into the Kevin Williams and Scream type of slasher horror, this is right up your alley. But yeah, just not for me right now.
Right.
Got it.
But palate cleanser.
Sorry, there was a movie that came out with Zoe Kravitz not too long ago that was I wouldn't say, well, it was it horror? I don't know, but it was very COVID centric, and there was a sort of a horror element to it. Anyway, I forget what that was called. But that was actually a pretty decent flick.
Yeah. Like Andy, I would give this a watch if you want to, if you haven't already.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's the whole premise is, a couple of friends go to like a parent's lake house in the middle of nowhere to escape COVID. And all of a sudden somebody's there stalking them and chasing them around the house with a knife.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, so the horror isn't COVID related. It's just the story
it
is related to COVID.
Without giving too much away, it is a little COVID related.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah.
Hey, moving on.
But then I finally got to watch Pearl, which was awesome. It's
nice.
The Pearl is the prequel to X, which we talked about. That's right. Goth porno.
Yeah.
Horror movie. And so this is the story of the old woman in that movie and her kind of her backstory.
No shit.
And how she became the lovable old sex crazed killer in X.
Okay.
Huh.
And also stars Mia Goth, who's getting a shit ton of work.
Yeah.
She's everywhere now.
You said Pearl, and I immediately thought of the archivist in Blade that's like stuck in bed.
Nice pull.
Wait, what is a prequel to that?
Frost, you need me, Frost.
Right, exactly. Yes. Pearl, the teen years, yeah.
Right.
She's a budding young librarian before she gets bitten.
Oh man.
Yeah, but definitely check that out.
Okay, I will for sure. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that was thanks to Steve's Plex account.
Nice.
So thank you, Steve.
Okay.
Yeah. The gift that keeps on giving, Steve's Plex.
Right. Exactly.
We do not have enough lifetime left to consume all of the media on Steve's Plex server. Good Lord.
Oh man.
And other than that, I've just been I've done my semi-annual Hannibal rewatch of all 3 seasons of Hannibal.
Nice.
Because that show is a perfect show in every way.
I might have to watch it.
Yeah, you should. And they need to make a 4th season. Renew Hannibal. Do it now. But yeah, that's my short and sweet horror corner for the week.
I have a slate contribution, if I may.
Okay, Nate, please.
I went and watched the interview with the vampire thing, the craze that was sweeping the nation.
Oh yeah!
Holy shit, this was good. Like, I love the movie, but fuck the movie. Okay, this is the interview with the vampire. So amazing. I don't want to spoil anything because I got some people watching it that potentially will listen to this, but some of the reveals, like the backstory, is all amazing. I love it. The what's the actor's name that plays Sam Reed never needs to play anything else. He just needs to do like Lestat in other genres, like sci-fi or whatever. I don't care. Just put him as Lestat in whatever.
Oh no, there's plenty of there. I mean,
make the vampire
Lestat, right? I know. For Lestat to continue as
I know. I just he needs to play everything all the time. And I'm pretty sure I called that. Is it that Anderson was going to be? Is it Jakob or Jacob? I don't know how to pronounce his name. That played Louis. I knew he was going to be great because he destroyed the minimal role they gave him in Game of Thrones, and he just absolutely nailed that too. And then Bailey Bass as Claudia. It's great. And then Danny Malloy, the actor, was great also. Pretty much everybody knocked it out of the park.
It was a well cast show. It really was.
Yeah, for sure.
And then the reveal at the end, I just absolutely loved. They did a good job of like giving you a little peek and maybe showing you what it was going to be, and then throwing a huge curveball. Like, okay, there's no way that could happen. And then like, shit.
Yeah.
I just can't wait to see where this goes, because there's no way they're not making a bunch of this. So
right, and I can't either, because I reread Interview, The Vampire Lestat, and I'm halfway through Queen of the Damned.
Oh, nice.
So I'm like, everything's now fresh in my mind. I'm like, oh, where are they going to go with this?
Yeah, do you have those in hard copy?
I do, but they're not accessible. They're in a bin buried under a bunch of crap. But I do have them on PDF. I can email them to you.
That'd be great. I can find my Queen of the Damned. I found that book. I couldn't find the other two. I'm pretty sure they got lost to mold, ironically enough.
Oh, sure.
The vampire novels decayed.
Me and I'll email them to you.
Okay, for sure. Thank you. So just absolutely amazing. I got Addie attached to this, and she just devoured it in like 2 days. I think it was nuts. And we're just going back and forth on it. I really wanted to get her review of this like we did with the menu, but just air and opportunity didn't really manifest. So hopefully she can be, her amazing reviews can be a regular smile for everybody. I was doing a little research in the back end. This thing is still 99% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, which is the critics rating. Audience score is a little bit lower. The critics fucking love this, as they should. So, amazingness. Watch it. AMC Plus, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. No, that's correct. Yeah. Nate, since most of my stuff is going to be our longer discussion points, do you want to do the Marvel Minute new?
Yeah, sure. I've got a bunch of other stuff to go over as well, but let's do the Marvel Minute since we got 3 weeks to catch up on. I kept it to a tight dozen items.
Nice.
So we'll make it quick.
Okay.
So let's see. Actually, some of these are really not worth talking about, but they're still fun. Netflix adds Spider-Man No Way Home extended cut in multiple regions, so it's the more fun stuff version of the film, getting just over 11 more minutes of footage, which is amazing.
Wow.
Not available here. Hong Kong, India, and Indonesia. So
Well, thanks a
Get your
pet
VPN.
load there, Disney.
Yeah,
What the
exactly.
hell,
This
man?
podcast sponsored by NordVPN. NordVPN,
Right.
when you want to watch shows across the globe, NordVPN. Call me. We're available.
Right.
Yeah, so it doesn't actually have a streaming date set yet for Netflix or Disney Plus. Apparently, they're thinking 2024 at the latest,
Oh.
because of the deals that Sony made. So
Oh, wow.
we'll see what happens there.
Jesus.
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay.
Figured that was going to be a thing. Not for much longer, hopefully.
No.
Let's see. Black Panther 2 is coming up on Disney Plus. In fact, tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, February 1st at midnight. So
Yeah.
none of the we're on Pacific time, so we get it at 9:00. Like, nope, we're dropping it at
Nope.
3 a.m. Eastern. So you
Yeah.
fuckers have to wait till midnight. It's amazing, and Jobin, you really do need to watch those.
Yeah,
They're
I
so
know.
good.
Yeah. We're gonna watch it this weekend for sure.
Yeah.
So
We could like barbecue and watch Black Panther so you can get into it, because the first one is fantastic and the second one's amazing. So
yeah.
you guys would like it, I think. Some kind of sad news. Marvel's runaway star, Annie Wershing, passed.
Yeah.
Picard star, rookie star, also known as
24
voicing
star.
Tess in
I mean,
The Last of Us
the-
star in the video game.
Yeah, the original mocap for Tess, right?
Yeah. Well, she was the voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, and the voice.
Yeah,
Wow. All right.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah. At 45, man, due to cancer.
I know.
That's too soon.
Yeah.
Too fucking soon. And I didn't really know a lot of her stuff. I pulled some of the things that she was in because I didn't watch Picard, but her imagery of her as the Borg Queen was fucking amazing.
Dude, she was brilliant as the Borg Queen last season in Picard. Like, holy crap. But I mean, she was in Timeless as well. She played sort of an assassin in Timeless, which was incredible. I saw her first in 24 because I love that show, and she was right there with Kiefer Sutherland. Like, she was in a lot of his scenes, right back and forth with him, and it was pretty incredible.
Yeah, she's one of my favorite parts of that season.
No, absolutely. So yeah, it is really sad. So I guess she developed cancer in 2020.
Yeah.
And it was interesting too.
Go ahead.
No, yeah, it was interesting too because they did kill her off a little quickly in The Rookie. Her last. So I was after. You can only think as I wonder if this was part of it. Like, I wonder if she told people what was going on and right. Just to but yeah,
she
man,
was still shooting after she was diagnosed in 2020. So Picard and The Rookie, she did both still.
Yeah. So this definitely it hits the pop culture community very, very hard for sure.
Yeah, it hits a sense of mortality pretty hard too. You're like, Jesus,
well, yeah,
people are dying in their 40s and their 30s and 20s, and we don't even go any farther than that. But holy shit,
right? Yeah.
So yeah, poor little out for her.
Yeah.
So sorry, worst transition ever. Every Fantastic Four actor rumored to replace John Krasinski as Reed Richards. There's been some pretty cool kind of rumors kicking around, so I'm just going to run through that list real quick. So Penn Badgley, I don't really know him. He's in.
Oh yeah,
Netflix's
he was
You.
in. He was in. What was that? Easy A with Emma Stone.
Perfect. So he's widely been rumored as the potential frontrunner for a while. Adam Driver's name came up recently. He's actually, it's confirmed that he's been talking to Marvel about a role.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we'll see how that goes. Ryan Gosling's name's been in the mix. Apparently that's a little more recent. I think other people are talking about, he also has been confirmed meeting with Marvel for something. So we'll see what happens there. Diego Luna's name came up, which, I mean, kind of atypical, but after his acting chops in Andor, like, let's go. That'd be awesome. Then there's a bunch of other very interesting casting potentials. Dev Patel is on that list. John David Washington, which is Denzel's son. Is a potential cast. Henry Cavill's name's been floated. Glenn Howerton from Always Sunny. Apparently he's a huge fan and a super fan kind of thing. And I think it's more of a fan casting than anything, but he actually looks the part with the kind of high hair and the long neck and that kind of thing from Always Sunny. So I just thought that was a fun article.
My boy Rahul Kohli is a big fan cast for that role.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay.
A lot of people have done fan art of him as Reed Richards.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of fan art of him lately, actually, like him as a Space Marine from 40K also. Like some really cool stuff because he's a huge nerd for painting that stuff too. I had no idea. He actually has a separate Instagram for his Warhammer figure painting, like mini painting, which is dope.
That's great. You're good.
Yeah, so okay, so it looks like there's a new list for the best order to watch Marvel movies in for first-time viewers. Obviously, we're not going to go through that list because it's a mile long.
All right.
And I'm not sure how many first-timers we have in our orbit, but it's updated with all the new stuff, and it has dates and times of when everything was released, but at the right order to watch everything if you want.
Okay.
If you want to waste a year, well, not waste. If you want to take a year to get caught up, because we know that Marvel is long and distinguished.
Right.
So following that, Marvel's Chloe Bennett basically announced her MCU return potentially. I guess not basically. There was a bunch of smack talk online as that happens, and somebody basically said you're a better soap opera actress than you ever were in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and I couldn't picture you in an actual Marvel movie with the likes of the actors they have there or something like that. And in a tweet, and her response was, wow, this tweet's not going to age well. So people are thinking, that she's going to make a return into the MCU, which is cool because she was great as Quake in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So,
okay.
That'll be fun. Disney Plus's Daredevil show hires real life lawyers for the writing staff, which I thought is kind of a no brainer, but was hilarious. Especially when you consider this, the little headline here that's Daredevil hires really good lawyers for Disney Plus, and, which is great. Obviously, that makes sense. It's going to be a legal drama to some degree, so that'll be fun for all the actual lawyers to actually get lawyering in there. That's correct. The footnote on that one is, I guess not a footnote, but kind of dovetails in, is that it looks like they also hired a bunch of Arrowverse writers for their show. So,
really?
Yeah. So there's some of the bigger writers, I guess, from the Arrowverse, like actually Arrow and The Flash are going to work on that show. So yeah, they're really, really putting some investment into that. So it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Let's see. I guess kind of the biggest news on this list so far, Marvel Studios earns first ever Oscar Acting Award nomination in the form of Best Actress for Angela Bassett, who just won the Golden Globe on January 11th. So that's going to be fucking huge.
Yeah.
I don't think the competition's really close, although Everything Everywhere All at Once is really picking up steam all over social media. And the actress in that was just fantastic. So let's see. The other movies it was nominated for were Best Costume Design, Best Song from Rihanna, Best Makeup, and then Best Visual Effects. Visual effects are pretty good. I don't know if it wins against like Top Gun and Avatar 2 and that kind of thing. That's going to be a really, really tough category. But anyway, I thought that was huge and needed a nod there. Let's see. And to juxtapose that, Morbius gets awarded with Razzie noms for worst actor and more. I love that tied the room together with that. The funny. Superhero Flop was one of 5 nominees for the top award, in quotes, award of worst picture, while also being nominated for worst actor, worst supporting actress, worst director, and worst screenplay.
Oh, that's harsh.
Yeah, I mean, those are the Razzies.
Yeah.
I just liked the fact that those two were next to each other in my list. Let's see. And then the last one, which we'll go over real quick. Top 10 actors to replace Patrick Stewart as Professor X. So there's been some really cool stuff happening here. Giancarlo
that aren't James McAvoy?
Right, exactly. Right. Giancarlo Esposito's been very vocal about his desire to play Professor X.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
That would be amazing. Bryan Cranston came up recently, and I thought that'd be fucking cool, but I kind of want to see him as like a villain in the MCU. Denzel Washington's name's been put forward, which okay, interesting choice. I'm not sure how they do that. They'd have to like reboot Magneto and Professor X. to make
Right.
that work. Mark Strong, which I think is a really cool pull from like Green Lantern, Shazam, the Kingsman.
Oh, sure.
He'd be cool. Ralph Fiennes has been floated, who would be goddamn. He'd be really
Yeah.
good. Let's see, David. Is it Thewis? Thewis?
Thulis.
Thulis. Oh, duh.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot. It's literally spelled that way. Thulis.
Thulis.
Sorry, David.
Yeah.
He'd be pretty cool. Stanley Tucci's name's been floated, which would be awesome.
Oh yeah, Tucci
Christoph
would be great.
Waltz's name is in the list. Like, wait a minute. Okay. And
Oh,
then the
wow.
one that's really going to twist your noodle is Antonio Banderas. I don't know why that he's on the list. Sorry. No. Hard pass. Oh, look. And James McAvoy is at the end of the list.
Right. Yeah.
So you knew that was going to happen.
Oh,
Yeah. And that's what I got for the Marvel Minute.
Nice. Wow. So yeah, let's jump into streaming service. And there's not, I mean, there's a lot kind of going on, but more the promise of stuff going on. We did get a Mandalorian season 3 trailer, which looks amazing for Disney Plus. That comes out March or mid-February. I think
I want to
March.
say it's March because we get overlap between The
That's
Last of Us and
yeah, in that.
Yep.
Okay, that's right. Yeah. And then we also got last weekend during the sports ball games, we got Picard season 3 trailer. Holy crap, man. This looks so good. Again, we have the next generation cast appropriately aged up into their prime. And I mean, like as much as you can put actors that are 60, 70, 80 years old in a sci-fi, this looks super packed with action. And who knows if they're showing like all the action in the trailer, but man, like, I don't know. With this being the last season of Picard, they are definitely going out on on a note that I think every Star Trek fan wants to see with the next generation cast altogether. And I think that this this trailer is going to produce a pretty classic meme of a very pissed off looking Geordie LaForge. So I wouldn't be surprised if I start seeing that as a meme out there anywhere. But yeah, super stoked for this. This starts in a couple weeks. Actually, I think if we don't get back on our podcasting schedule starting next week, the first episode would have dropped by our next one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
but anyway,
starting next week, hopefully we can get back to the regularly scheduled
program. Yeah. So anyway,
just to confirm, Mando is March 1st. So
okay, Mando is March 1st. That's what I thought.
We'll overlap.
Yeah. And then for other stuff that we've been watching, I think really just the stuff that started in January are the stuff that we can sort of dig in and talk about. Let's first talk about the Legend of Vox Machina.
Did you want to touch on DC news?
Well, let's. Why not? Since a lot of this will jump onto HBO Max. James Gunn did come out today and basically talk about the first 10 projects of the new DC universe. So they're calling it the DCU. And then anything that's coming out that was sort of already on the slate, they're going to be terming as a DC Elseworlds. So again, the Todd Phillips Joker sequel that we're getting, the second Robert Pattinson Batman movie that's being written right now, will come out as DC Elseworlds, and then obviously the Shazam: Fury of the Gods, which also came out with another really great trailer this last week. That looks so good and so amazing. I can't wait for that. Blue Beetle, which sounds like it's going to get released, which is great. And that's the actor from Cobra Kai who's taken the mantle of Blue Beetle, which would be great. And what was the other? Oh, Aquaman, right? And the way he made it sound, he almost made it sound like the Flash is going to play into it a little bit.
Yeah, it's resetting
Um,
the whole DCEU,
right.
so like Flashpoint style, I think. So
Yeah, and what I've heard is that they were going to cameo a lot of the DCEU actors in the end of that movie, but I heard that that has been removed now, and
yeah,
that
they
they're going to film a more appropriate cameo for Gunn's vision, I guess.
oh, that's cool. The only thing that I heard was that they removed cameos from that movie and from Shazam because there's supposed to be a Wonder Woman cameo in Shazam Fury of the Gods, and they
Right.
removed that.
I heard that they might keep that now because of the Elseworlds tag.
Right.
So anyway, but who knows what's what's real and what's not here. So anyway, and I don't know that we need to run down the list of the DC stuff, but some of the notable things. Viola Davis is going to remain Amanda Waller. She's going to get her own series, which seems cool, and they're going to set that um, as sort of a like season 1.5 of Peacemaker in a
Right.
way.
Yeah, it's supposed to
Um,
bridge the two. Yeah.
right. Yeah, which should be cool. And then we're also getting a Lanterns series, which is going to go over Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart, which should be fantastic. They made it sound like it's going to be sort of like space cops policing
True Detective
territory Earth.
style, he said. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was awesome. I love that.
Yeah, so that sounds really great. I'm glad that they're sort of making good on the. I know they've been talking about a Green Lantern series forever, and that was both started under the old regime, but now that they're gonna go and they're gonna keep it, which is great. He's also going to do his Superman movie, which I forget what the comic he's basing it on. One of the Grant Morrison comics. And then he's also doing a Superwoman movie, which is the Superwoman World of Tomorrow comic run, which I think just came out a couple years ago, if I'm not mistaken. And keep in mind that aside from actors who have already been cast in roles from the DCEU, no one else has really been announced,
Right.
except there have been rumblings on social media. Jason Momoa came out of a meeting apparently with the execs of DC, extremely happy as to where he's going, and
Right.
everybody's speculating that he's finally going to play Lobo. Um, which I
And
mean, that's
remain Aquaman from the
right.
same video.
Yeah, and so who knows? I mean, him playing Lobo would just be incredible.
Mhm.
Um, apparently, they've been talking with Ben Affleck too to not
Sorry, wait.
necessarily
I'm
start
sorry. With who?
with
They've
Ben
been-
Affleck. Ben Affleck.
Yes.
Ben Affleck.
Does he shop at Target?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Did I put the emphasis on the wrong syllable?
Yeah, you said Ben Affleck like he was view askew.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just
No,
couldn't let
that's
that speed pass without
I
snapping
was
it.
trying I was trying to get it out and get past it before anybody noticed.
Nope. You can always depend on me to point out the bullshit.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm a terrible person.
No, that's fine. That's fine. But apparently they're gonna try to lean in on his writing and directing chops
Hmm.
for some of the stuff, which seems cool. So yeah, it's interesting that they are going to keep some connective tissue from the older movies, but I guess freshen them up. They're also doing a fair amount of unknown properties, some lower properties that I've never heard of until today.
Yep.
Which is a very James Gunn thing to do. But again, like if he has a plan, and I guess also one thing that he said in his little video, which I thought was cool, is that they're going to use the same actors to voice and then also play them in live action,
Right.
which I think is great, which I think is cool. So again, from what this video sort of shows, it seems like they're on a good path, essentially.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how they fold everything together when he was talking about how the current slate of DCEU movies is going to fold right into the DCU, which will kick off with Superman Legacy in July of
Right.
2025. The Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow one, that sounds so interesting when they were talking about it, because basically Superman, sent to Earth, raised by a loving family, and in this version of Supergirl, she's raised on like the remnants of the planet Krypton, and
Yeah.
like witnessing everybody die and dealing with the fallout from that, and that kind of stuff. I'm really interested to see where they go with this, and I'd love to.
Yeah.
Like, the casting for that's going to be pretty cool, I think, regardless of who they get. That's going to be some meaty stuff for an actor to sink their teeth into.
Oh
The
yeah.
one thing that I'm really kind of low key very excited about is the Authority, because that's the Wildstorm
Yeah.
characters that DC acquired recently. I love those comic books from back in the day. Wildstorm is a fucking crazy group of mutants, and the Authority are fucking brutal. They're like, we
Yeah.
know what's best for you. This planet is fucking broken, and we're gonna fix it however we see fit to make it work. Doesn't matter who has to die.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what regimes we have to overthrow. We're making it a better place overall.
Yeah.
So it's I'm really excited to see what he does with that, because
Yeah. Well,
talk about
so
somebody
apparently
that
they're
to do something like this, to pull random characters out of a hat and turn them into gold, like James Gunn. So
Oh, yeah. Oh, and another thing which I think is going to be great too is that they're doing a Booster Gold series.
mm-hmm.
And everything, all the fan casting already has been thrown to Chris Pratt as Booster Gold, which would just be which would be brilliant, I think, which would be good, but they might be better served doing giving someone else to play with that role. Because I mean, Booster Gold is very Star-Lordy in a way.
For sure.
So, yeah. So, anyway, yeah, no, I'm super excited that this is where they're headed, that this is where they're going, and I think that it again, who knows how it's going to go, but it certainly seems like a very, very good, strong foot to start off on. So,
yes,
yeah,
yes, exactly what DC universe needed, and I love the fact that they're moving like films and animation and gaming all under the same umbrella, and they're going to make sure that they're interconnected to some degree,
yeah,
which is just really cool. So
yeah, no, it seems like finally there's somebody there now really sort of caring about how it looks.
Yep, agreed.
versus then just, I mean, obviously they want to make money off of this, but it seems like there's, again, he's a fan, James Gunn is a fan, but he's a fan with a lot of influence now.
Right.
And
well, he knows how to put a room together too, not just buy flashy things and put it on the wall,
Exactly. Right. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I think DC's in a very, very good spot. So yeah. I don't know. Thoughts, Joe? Do you care?
I think we're covered.
Yeah, I think you guys nailed it.
Okay.
There is a horror corner thing for you, though. They're making a horror Swamp Thing movie. So
okay, cool.
maybe that's something we can review as part of the expanded horror corner when it happens.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, with that, let's roll into Vox Machina. We're 3 episodes in. Joe, how far are you?
Oh, I'm current with it.
We're 6 episodes in.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Okay, well, crap. I did not do my homework then.
What? Oh no.
Oh. Well, crap. This is awkward.
No, the first 3 episodes of Vox Machina. What did you guys think?
Okay, let me just make sure where it stops. I
know,
don't want to spoil
the
anything.
Sunken Tomb is episode 3.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, no, that fucking first episode, man, really, like, it did not stop. Like, I expected it to stop at some point. Nope. And no, it just kept going. And man, who is it? Lance, I think it's Lance Reddick is Thordak, oh man,
yeah,
like his dude, I love his voice anyway. Like, he's great in Fringe. He was great in the Forbidden West series. That anyway, I total blank drawing on the actual Why can't I remember the name of that video game?
Moving on.
Moving on. Anyway, I love his voice. I think his voice is great, and he's killing it as Thordak, that main dragon of the what is it, the Crimson Conclave or something like that?
Rise of the Chroma Conclave.
Chroma Conclave, that's right.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, no, I mean, so far the humor and everything is all there. It's classic Critical Role. It's it's really good. What do you guys think so far on this?
Jobin, what's your take? I've been talking nonstop.
Oh, I love it, and like the 3 episodes and then a cliffhanger just keeps getting me. I'm like, wait, next episode, damn it!
That's a big cliffhanger too.
Yeah,
they don't
that's
fuck
huge.
around. You know? Yeah, good shit.
Yeah, so I can't wait for the rest of the season to pan out. And Andy, do your homework.
Yeah,
I
right.
know. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I dropped the ball here.
That's right. I keep cheating up too and watching it at 9 p.m. on Thursdays instead of waiting till Friday.
Oh yeah.
So, I actually watched episode 4 with Addie last week before she had to go back to her mom's place, and man, this show is so fucking good. For some reason, when I was watching the first episode, I thought the animation was a little different. Like it looked a little choppier, not as smooth, maybe not as refined. But then I went back and watched the original, and it's almost dead on exactly the same.
Yeah,
you know how a lot of shows do that sometimes in season 2 to kind of cut costs because they spend all the money on the dragons. Holy balls!
Yeah.
Like, if you ever want to see good dragons, I'm sorry, eat your heart out, Cumbersnatch. Those are dragons. Okay?
Right.
You got felled by an arrow from a drunken guy shooting off his son's shoulder. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the way that they kind of meld in or like fold in their anime love into the show with things like the dragon supercharging his breath with the vents on his side, and then it turns into like this giant beam, and a lot of the really small things like I don't remember when there's a certain, well, no, I don't want to spoil that because it's a really good moment, but there's a, like, if the character's super happy, like, he'll turn to the side and his eyes will go like happy faces and stuff like that. You know, I love when they throw shit like that in, because I'm sure that's, you know, Titmouse is the animator, so I'm sure that's them too. But the way they did the dragons blew me away. I could watch that first episode over and over. I love it so much.
I did love it when Grog got his beard from the belt.
Oh my god.
That was such a funny.
He squealed. I got a beard.
And then when it gets chopped off, not the beard.
Not the beard. I love when he got the beard and the other guys, big fucking deal. It's like, I got a beard. It's cool if you haven't watched the show, the game. So you should look up YouTube for some of these like bigger moments, because it'll show you the clip of the actual live show when they happen. And, like, people's reaction. And there's a whole list, like there must be 20 different roles that he has to make to grow this beard. Like, it starts out as like fishing wire color kind of coming in, because his race cannot grow facial hair. So Matt's trying to figure out a way to make this work, and so he keeps having him do rolls, because the belt of Dwarven kind has like a 50% chance of giving you a full beard every morning. And so he's doing percentile dice rolls every day in the game world, every time they rest, and he's like, "Oh, can I do a beard roll?" And so there's literally like this 5-minute supercut of him doing 20 different beard rolls until finally he's got this full, like, majestic beard, and he's like, "Yes, ladies, come and pet it." You know, like he's dropping all kinds of grogisms. Just
that's
about
great.
The beard. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. So,
oh man. Yeah. So normally we catch up on this, but we watched 2 really, really bad streaming movies back to back, Friday and Saturday this week.
Ooh, me too. Go ahead, you first.
Sorry. So we watched that Jennifer Lopez, Josh Duhamel shotgun wedding. No. Oh man. So yeah, that was pretty bad.
Jeez, who are you guys?
I know, right?
I mean, some of the stuff was fun. I didn't think it was going to be that bad.
Yeah.
What was the other one that's on Netflix with Eddie Murphy
Oh, You People. That
and
was the
Jonah
one that we
Hill.
watched as well.
We watched both of those back to back. That's hilarious. Oh wow,
It seemed like
that one's better. That one's
that
way
one
better
is
than
better. Yeah, I don't know. It, like Eddie Murphy just seemed like he was there for the paycheck. He didn't seem like he was it didn't see. I don't know that he enjoyed acting across Jonah Hill. It just seemed like he's a little stiff. He seemed a little
Yeah,
stiff.
he was supposed to be too. I think that worked. That was
Okay.
the thing. Like, no,
Yeah.
I get to your point though. I think you're exactly right. It just so happens that's how they wrote his role.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that was fun. I mean, the dynamic between him and the girl that plays his girlfriend, like they had literal chemistry on
Yeah.
screen. That was just super
Oh
cool.
yeah. Yeah.
Apparently they didn't meet. I watched an interview with her actually. Apparently they hadn't met before the movie, but then now they're like
Oh
super
wow.
good friends. So
Yeah.
yeah, I did like that movie quite a bit more than the
Oh no. I mean,
pirate
if
Pirate
Shotgun
Island
Wedding is
Wedding.
if Shotgun Wedding is a 2,
Yeah.
You People is maybe a 5 or a 6.
Yeah, there you go. I didn't think it was
Yeah.
that bad as a 2.
Well, I'm for reference, like I said, that's
Yeah.
where okay, it's a 3.
Yeah. Well, and for reference, we were both pretty high when we watched both of
yeah.
those.
Okay.
Just a little gummy, nothing crazy.
Right.
But it
Yeah.
made it much more entertaining. So
Yeah.
maybe went to a
That's
4. I don't know.
That's so funny that we watched the same stupid movie
Right back to back. But I still managed to get my homework done, so I don't want to hear. Oh wait,
I know
COVID.
it's
Shit.
my fault.
No, we can't give you any crap. You got fucking COVID. So
yeah, I had the Rona, and that put me to bed early a couple nights. So
right.
But all of it has been in preparation for Sunday, which is now owned by The Last of Us.
Holy shit.
And we haven't talked since this movie, since this series started.
Yep.
So, I mean, I don't know if we want to dig in and just sort of give overall thoughts, or if we want to go sort of episode by episode. But that opening episode alone, because I've played just enough of the game to get through that.
Yeah, same.
And man, that was almost tat for tat of the same sort of feelings that I had playing that than I did watching it. And like that opening for any story,
Right.
I think is just incredible. When the shit hits the fan and they're in the truck and they're getting out of the town, going through the town, watching the cop cars fly in the background,
right.
Driving through all the people, and then like, man, like
Yep.
that tension right there, like, and to start, like I said, just to start a story off that way, like that's immediate, like you're there.
And that scene is filmed just like a video game. Like I was watching it, like I could totally imagine playing this and steering the car and like
It's
freaking out.
basically a shot-for-shot remake. That whole chase scene in the car and then everything that happens afterwards is almost perfectly pulled. Including like camera angles and lighting, and like they really dug deep into the source material for it. It's fantastic.
Right. Yeah. And
I haven't played any of the games because I'm an Xbox girl, so.
Oh, right. Yeah. Well, and I mean, I love that they put his daughter in the shirt that she wears in the in the video game too, and that was Thandway Newton's daughter who played his daughter, which she's from Westworld, the gal from Westworld. Yeah. So
you're knocking it out of the park with these actors' names today.
That's how you say your name, though.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was Thandy for years.
Is it Ben Affleck?
I know it's
right.
Probably not.
I got smacked earlier with one that I should have known too. So
okay, all right, yeah.
Apologies.
But yeah, man. And then for some reason, I had no idea that Anna Torv was going to be in this. Anna Torv she was the main actress from Fringe, and yeah, Tess.
Yep.
Wow, I think she killed it as Tess.
Gone too soon. Gone too soon.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I mean, that opening episode alone, I just thought was just incredible, and like the perfect way to start your sort of disaster epic.
Right.
I got so excited when it turns out it's cordyceps.
Right.
Yeah.
Because like I was like, please, not another zombie show. I'm still so burnt out on The Walking Dead. And
Yeah.
It's mushrooms in the flour. Don't make pancakes.
But well, I mean, even the opening 1968 talk show,
Yeah.
like that was incredible.
It
like
was really good.
And that's all true. Like there are mushrooms that do that. So it's
cordyceps,
this
legit,
could
literally
happen.
cordyceps mushrooms do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fungus. It's nuts. And it's not like this story was written forever ago, so it's not like a scathing indictment on government's inability to prevent pandemics or anything like that. It just so happens that we're dealing with that.
Yeah.
But this could like I've seen a bunch of what are they called? It's not fungus professors. Whatever the terminology is for the amazing scientists that decide to go into the study of mushrooms. Holy shit. This could legit happen. Some people are saying obviously it can't, but this is the way that those kind of things evolve. Like if there's a need for it to evolve, it will. And it's not going to happen anytime soon, but it could legit happen at some point if it can do that in ants and other animals. Like there's thousands of different kinds of this fungus that are specifically evolved to interact with specific types of animals.
Yeah.
Mostly insects. So yeah, that's fucking great. I love it.
Yeah.
Dude, so great to see. I can't remember the actor's name, but Nelson Baghetti from Silicon Valley as the talk show host.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I love this show in general, man. They did such a good job with the first one. The same as you, Andy. I played like just after the first episode, basically. So they escape in the rain, and that's basically where my game started up. So I still haven't made it to the City Hall in Boston yet in the game.
Okay,
but I'm just now starting to pick it back up. So I think I'm going to start playing it because, especially after the third episode, because the second episode's great. The third episode is fucking magnificent, and it plays just like a cutscene in a video game where you have your main characters, you're going on the road to a place, and then there's a cutscene that travels you back in time to where they're headed, and you get the whole backstory of why it's important and who the people are. And then after they wrap this just brilliant acting, directing job that made, if you didn't cry during this, there's a problem.
You're not human. Yeah.
You're not human, or you're just such a huge homophobe that you can't handle it. But love blossoms in a what am I saying? In a pandemic, not pandemic, in the fucking apocalypse, right? Like, it's so beautiful and so well done and just amazing. And now I really want to play the game more because I know that that whole interaction isn't in the game, but one of the characters is. So
so no, I wasn't ready for episode 3 at all. Like they, in all of the trailers for The Last of Us, they show Nick Offerman, and you immediately get like crazy survivalist dude, right? Mm-hmm. And that gets played out in these zombie apocalypse movies quite a bit. So you sort of prepare yourself on what you're ready to see. And like, oh man, it definitely started on that track. Right. Like the second the shit hits the fan, like he's hitting all the stores, getting everything he needs to set up his little perfect slice of the world that he can shut the entire world off of. And you're just like, okay, all right, let's get into it. Let's see how crazy he actually gets. And then they throw the fucking curveball at you.
Right. And he's not crazy. He's just realistic. No? And he's not a prepper. He's a survivalist. Okay?
Yeah. Oh man.
What a character. God.
Yeah. And they tied it just enough to the story by showing Joel and Tess come for dinner because they need to have friends.
Right.
Which I thought was great.
Frank's like, and we're gonna have friends. What did you say?
Yeah, and then Bill with the gun on Joel the whole
Yeah, the whole time.
dinner. I just thought was amazing. Um, and I don't know if you guys watched the little after the little after bits
Yep.
on the episode, but so Neil Druckmann, the guy who wrote and I think directed the video game, right?
Yeah, he was the creative director, I believe.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Creative director of the Last of Us video game is an executive producer on. He directed episode 2, which was the one where they walk through the Boston Museum and you get to see the clicker for the first time, and have that. So anyway, so he's like massively involved with the show, and so the way that this sort of after show little thing starts it in is that he's like, there are times when you need to stick to the game and there are times when you need to divert, and like this was the time to divert and show Bill's story and show what we can do with TV versus what we can do with video games. And he's just like, they wrote this episode, I read this episode, it's like, holy crap, we need to do this episode. you know and I guess they reference the boyfriend during the games, but they never show him because it's past, he's already passed away. Obviously They changed that for this, which made it 10 times more of an incredible story, I think, in that way. And just like, I mean, holy shit. Like,
Yeah,
if
they
this
don't
is
even-
the level of storytelling that we're going to get from the show, like, man, like,
Right.
what are we, like, this is episode 3. Like, what the hell are we in for?
Yeah, I was totally not prepared for like one of the most epic love stories in the middle of my apocalypse show.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I love the fact
yeah.
when Frank surprises Bill with the strawberries and he goes, "Yeah, I traded one of your guns to Joel and Tess for the seeds," and he goes, "Which one?"
Right.
It was a
These
small
children.
one.
He's like, "It's just
Yeah.
a small one," and I was waiting for him to follow up with like model numbers or something.
Right. Yeah.
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did such a great job with this, and holy fucking acting jobs! These guys are going to win awards for this show.
Yeah.
Like, specifically for that episode. And
Yeah.
it's worth noting that Druckmann isn't the only one who created Last of Us. Bruce Straley was the director and I think the studio head on that.
Yeah.
During that, and he also directed the remake and Last of Us Part 2 and Uncharted 4 and Uncharted 2, and he got frozen out of this entire show. He's not getting anything for it.
Oh,
so
no.
that's yeah, there's always got to be some kind of drama, right? Nobody can
Right.
just be completely open for everybody. But
Yeah.
that's just something that's worth mentioning because
Okay.
Druckmann's done an amazing job, but he didn't do it by himself. And I
Right.
think it's important to note that, and the fact that he's pulling from such rich material in the first place to make this show as good as it is. I mean, think about the other video game shows that really failed. Video game shows or movies that really failed. They didn't have like the level of writing and story that The Last of Us did, because The Last of Us is like a 13-hour game. Like,
Right. Yeah.
If you just stream through it, it's 13 hours, right?
Yeah.
So he's literally lifting video game to make it into a show, but then also changing things that need to be changed. And I really love that his philosophy about that, where it's like, if it's better than the game was, then we change it. Like, that's the way that the test that they use. And it's, so far it's fucking fantastic. So I can't wait to see more.
Yeah. And I mean, that's great because you can't just make a shot for shot,
right.
remake of the game. It's, people that played the game are going to know everything and it's going to be boring for them. And, it's, you got to put some twists and turns in there. So, there's something new for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what happens. They've already greenlit the second season. But apparently he's saying that the second season is going to be The Last of Us Part 2, which I haven't played anything about or at all.
No.
I haven't played any of that. Excuse me. I can't English right now. But apparently
you can't English.
It's not right. Exactly. Apparently it wasn't as well received as the first one. So, it could be a little more challenging. From what I've heard, it's not going to lend itself as easily to the transition.
Sure.
And there were some people that were really hoping for like some intermediate story, like maybe to bridge the gap between 1 and 2. So what are you going to do after 2? Because if it's as good as 1, people are going to want more. So then you're going to create it of whole cloth. Is this going to be another Game of Thrones situation where if you're out of the source material, now we're like, you can eat the flour again. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
How do you resolve that?
Pizza's back on the menu, boys.
Right. Pancakes for everyone. No more cauliflower bullshit crust for us.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, great stuff. Love it. Can't get
Yeah, and I was looking on
Yeah.
Twitter. Somebody brought up and if you go back then the first episode when she's making breakfast for Joel, and it's like, oh, you're out of pancake mix. It's
Right.
like, oh no, that's how they survived.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's so
Well,
many
and then
things she dodges: the cookies and the biscuits and the
Yeah,
birthday
and then
cake.
yeah, he forgets the cake coming
Right.
Yeah.
home that night.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, and I didn't put that stuff together until I watched one of my many sort of after show
Yeah,
videos.
same.
Yeah.
Apparently,
So,
there's a companion podcast. Have you guys listened to that at all?
I have not.
I should check that
No.
out because I really
Yeah.
am digging it. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and whoever does the makeup for this has got to win some award because the infected are just beautiful.
Man.
right, the clickers.
Yeah.
Oh my god, they're so good.
Well, dude, the sound when she went into the basement of that store,
right,
like and then you just hear it, like it was dead silent in my house.
Oh, yeah,
right?
I peed a little bit.
Yeah, and
2
you
drops
hear that,
came out.
like, and you're just
Yeah,
um
she should have died. Come on, that's just stupid. Let's go.
Right. Yeah. I did love the part in episode 2 where where he sees the team of guys that were killed on the floor of the museum, and basically the mycelials call to all the infected that were in that other
right, because
I
it's
just
an
thought that
actual
was
network, like just like in real life. Yeah,
Yeah, and the one where the infected's kind of like plastered against the wall and just totally dried out. And
oh yeah,
that totally made me think of Annihilation because there's a scene in Annihilation that's pretty similar to that. And
Yeah,
I was like, I wonder if it's the same people they're doing
there's
the
one
makeup
in
for
Bright
this. And
like that too, right? Where there's like an elf stuck in a wall, like from a bad spell or something like that. That was really cool.
Oh, something like that. Yeah.
The one thing I haven't gotten into the game far enough, but people have been talking about it all over the internet, is the way they change the way that the infection spreads. Because in the game, it's spore based and they're everywhere.
Right.
So even if you kill one, it can still infect people because it sheds spores like constantly. So you have to burn it basically. So like in that instance where she goes down into the, under the gas station or whatever and finds the infected guy and stabs him, like, oh, okay, good thing you're immune, because everybody else could still, poof kind of situation.
Yeah.
It's cool how they're making nods to the game that aren't in the script at all. Like the way he carries the rifle on his backpack is directly out of the game. Like when he's that one scene where he's got his bag and then the rifle is basically slung over his shoulder, but also strapped to the side of his bag. It looks just like it does in the game. Like when they take their backpacks off to retrieve stuff, it's exactly what they do in the game. It's ridiculous how detailed this is. And I can't wait for like the Easter egg videos, because I've seen a few just pointing out all this stuff.
Yeah, she's got the little monster head that she does from her backpack on the game.
Right.
She just picked up one of her shirts from Bill from that box that she wears in the video game. Now she's wearing it.
And the pistol. She got Frank's gun.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. But man, like it was really hard not to take notes of what to do in Apocalypse, that like opening scene, because damn, like if the shit ever hits the fan, I'm rewatching that and doing everything that Bill does.
Yeah, well, you better hope you have natural gas running to your house, because holy shit, you could use that for
I know.
everything.
I love that he goes back to the plant and turns it on. And he's just like, hey, I'm good.
Yeah, well, he's got his old generator that's also running on natural gas, it looks like.
Right.
He's good to go.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
I'm trying to think of what he says in the beginning where it's like not today, you New World Order motherfuckers.
Yeah, you like New World Order boot steppers or Gestapo. He said something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Oh gosh. Yeah, but I certainly think that they're doing everything right so far with this show, and I can't wait to see where it goes. So
yes.
Oh,
All
Guys, what
hail our
else?
mushroom overlords.
Yeah. What else we got?
Streaming service selection of the week.
You know what? I mean, I think we pretty much
We
nailed
cover
that
it in the shitty, shitty
yeah,
movies that we watch.
all right. We kind
So,
of hit that one over the head.
I've got one.
speaking
for
of
that. Go ahead, Jen.
heart-wrenching things to watch, I watched Clerks 3 finally and was not prepared for
that's
that
right.
heartbreak.
Man.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was not ready for that.
Mr. Dante! Yeah. Oh my god.
Talk about
Yeah.
a standout acting performance. Holy shit. Like in the beginning, it
Right.
was really bad. I think probably intentionally. And at the end, fuck. So
Yeah.
good. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, when I started watching it, I almost texted you guys like, wait, Becky's fucking dead? What the
Right.
hell?
I was going to say almost. You damn near live tweeted it on the chat.
Right. Well,
We
and
should
I
have had you
love,
do that. That would have been great.
yeah, I know. I love it. It's like, God damn, I need to watch Clerks 2 as a palate cleanser right now. And then you're like, it just makes the end worse.
Worse. Yep.
So much worse.
Of course, we didn't warn her at all.
Right.
Just let her burn her hand on the stove. She'll learn eventually.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. It's hard to start a movie with Welcome to the Black Parade and you know, and play it all the way through and just not not deliver something epic. So I just thought that was a great opening song choice
Yeah.
for Clerks 3. Yeah. But goddamn, Elias is so great.
Oh my god.
Every time he showed up in a different costume and different makeup, like we went to the viewing with Kevin Smith. That was the what was it called, like the Convenience Roadshow or something
The
like
convenience
that.
tour. Yeah. Yeah.
The
We went to that
convenience
too.
tour, yeah. And I was with Gina and Mike and Jamie, and every time Elias came on the screen, Mike's just busting up laughing, which just made me laugh even more because he's got that high pitch sort of
Right.
like, oh man. But it was so good. Like I just thought that was a great movie. Yeah. So
Yes. I have one thing for the streaming service selection, and then we can move on or wrap it up.
Fire away.
I discovered 1883 on Paramount Plus.
Oh yeah.
I was a huge fan of Yellowstone and waiting for season 5 part 2 later in the
Okay.
year. I don't think it's even been announced yet. But holy shit.
Yeah.
Tyler Sheridan was sleeping in his car at one point. Struggling actor, struggling writer, just passed $1 billion basically net worth because of these shows and other things. I'm sure he's in a lot since then, but holy fuck, did he strike oil with the whole Yellowstone and all of the ancillary Yellowstone properties. 1883 is fucking fantastic. If you guys haven't seen this, even if you haven't seen Yellowstone, you got to fucking watch it.
Okay.
It's from the viewpoint of an 18-year-old who's basically it's not from her viewpoint. Let me back up. She has an overarching narrative throughout the entire series. She's also like one of the main characters, maybe the main character of the whole series. So things will happen, then you'll hear her narration. Things will happen, you'll hear some narration. This actress fucking blew me away. Like all of the acting is insane. Sam Elliott, Tim McGraw, and Faith Hill are in this and absolutely knock it out of the park. You don't think that's what's going to happen, but they fucking kill it. Okay. There are so many like hidden cameos. I'm not going to go through the list because you want to be surprised when you see them. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But Isabel May I think she's 20. She plays Elsa Dutton, and this fucking acting performance she gives is just beyond anything I've seen from anyone her age and most people 3 times her age. Like it's just absolutely insane. Sam Elliott gives one of his best performances since Tombstone, in my opinion. It's really, really fucking good. And they do a great job of the period and how brutal the trek west is. They're on the Oregon Trail, basically. They're all trying to get a bunch of immigrants to Oregon. and wagon train and all the things that come with it. And yes, dysentery's a thing.
Yeah.
Broken an
On the
axle and
Oregon
died of
Trail. Yep.
dysentery.
Broke
Yeah.
down wagon, got to shoot the horse. Bandits, engines. Yeah.
Engine.
It's fucking amazing. You guys, if you have a chance, watch it. It's so good. And the acting
Okay.
is, I'm just so surprised. Like with Tim
Yeah.
McGraw and Faith Hill. Tim McGraw's really good. Faith Hill is, God, she blows this role out of the water. And I think she gets more comfortable with the role as the episodes go on.
Uh-huh.
And they involve her a little more, because there's some lines that she throws out like that are just and the delivery is just like ice cold. Like, I don't remember anything in our wedding vows of meaning to ask for your permission to go anywhere, like shit like that from the back of a horse when she's going to wrangle a herd of fucking cows, the kind of thing. You stay and watch the baby. I'm going to go do the cowboy shit, like that kind of stuff. I can't say enough good things about it. It's fucking fantastic. So
yeah.
Another thing I got Annie hooked on and she loves. So
nice. That reminds me, and that for some reason, we binged Apple TV's Foundation recently. Did you guys watch this?
Which one is that?
No, the Isaac Asimov one.
This is the Isaac Asimov property, the books, Foundation sci-fi, based in a sort of alternate section of the universe. That's the best way to put it. And the Foundation is the current knowledge of civilization that is to be passed on in case of like a extinction level event, right? And with all of these prepping plans, there are people that feel differently about how we should deal with that. Right. And who should control that narrative and all that good stuff. I didn't necessarily know what to expect from this, but this is a really, really good show. The effects are great. Acting is really good. The story's fantastic. There's Lee Pace, who played Ronan in Guardians of the Galaxy, plays the Cleonic dynasty, which is a Cleon the First decided he was Cleon the First thought he was such a great ruler that he just decided to clone himself and keep himself in power the whole time. And there is dawn, day, and night. There's an older Cleon. Oh, sure. There is a of age Cleon, and there is a younger Cleon.
That's amazing.
And it's 19 generations of Cleons through sort of the story, and there's a lot of time hopping, but it's a fantastic series if you get the chance to take it in. It got renewed for season 2. The season 2 trailer's out there. It dropped sometime in the summer, but if you guys want to catch up on season 1 and talk some Foundation, it is a worthy sci-fi show to speak at. So
I'll check it out. I wanted to and just never got around to it.
And that's how it was for us, but we finally got to a point where it's like, okay, what do we watch next? Fate, the Winx Saga, or Foundation?
Nice. Yes, the Winx Saga. Excellent.
Right. So we opted for Foundation and blew through that. So now we're watching Fate.
Nice. I added it to the
to the list.
Watch this list. Yeah.
Good.
So let's see. 1883 is on PP. Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
Q.
Yeah.
I need to revisit this list. There's a bunch of stuff I need to watch here. Dude Bro Master 3 is on the list. Oh, and Fucking Evil. I can't miss that one.
You're goddamn right.
Oh man.
Next season's filming right as we speak. So
Sweet.
Yeah. All right. What do you guys think of The Legend of Vox Machina? What are you guys thinking of The Last of Us so far? Let us know. Let us know your thoughts. What do you think of the DC slate that's coming out? The newly announced DCU. Let us know. You can find us on Facebook at the Rum and Regret Podcast. You can find us on Twitter at rum_regret. Joe, where can they find you?
At Joe Chickadee on the socials or at joechickadee.com.
And Nate, where can they find you?
Sure, Avid Gamer, AV1D Gamer on all the socials and your gaming platforms of choice.
You can find me at Crazy Drake on Facebook, at Andrew Drake on Twitter. And until the next time, we have spoken.
Last one ends a troll dick. Ashley Johnson's finest quote.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, man.